Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am so sorry that I've been MIA for a couple of days, and I do have more content for you guys. I am working on it. I'm just a little bit behind, but actually I had a really cool day yesterday. I went out to Venice, and the day before that I went out to Verona because it is coming time for me to go back to the States for a little while, and I'm hoping that in the summertime I'll be back here. So that's my plan, is that I have to go back, you have to go back to work. So that's my plan, is I'm looking forward to summertime, coming back home, and also being able to see the new vehicle. If you don't know about it, it's in my previous video, go check that out. And hoping that the final renovations for the house will be done. I was really grateful to be here during this period of time, to be able to finalize the purchasing of the house and to be able to help solidify everything with renovations and stuff like that. And then now that the bulk of the things are done, I will be able to return back to the States and then come back fairly soon. So the other day I did go to Verona, and then the day following I went to Venice. It was a really relaxed 2 days. So in Verona, for some of you who do not know, it is home of Romeo and Juliet, and it is very famous for the statue of Juliet and actually being able to go into her family's villa or their castle and be able to learn everything about the two families and the famous feud and their love story. And so that's one of my favorite things to do in Verona. I do it every year. I didn't have any pictures of it this time because we just really didn't have the time to do that. We ended up going into a couple of stores, doing some shopping, because right now is a huge sale. Typically in Italy, everything's very seasonal. So not just food, but also clothing, because obviously Italian fashion is like a thing, right? So when the season is over for winter, they have huge sales. The same thing, like in the States you have that too, but I think here it's taken a little bit it's on a different level here than you experience it in the States. So here, like when certain colors are not in season or certain styles are not in season, you don't typically see people walking around wearing it unless they're probably foreigners or probably Americans. Wearing older fashions or like things that went out of style or are not in season, especially when it comes to colors as well. And so again, they had huge sales and throughout like different stores like Sephora, Intimissimi, and everywhere. So we were taking advantage of that, Pimki also. And then we just walked around the city of love and just in the main center just to see what was going on. In the area, if they had any, again, sales, and seeing what we can find. Because the last time that I went to Verona a few years ago, they have some really good deals on Italian leather. So I did buy a really nice leather purse from there. And there's just a lot of good finds you can find in Verona. And during normal times of the year, they also do have like really cool festivals, like the Festival of Love. And they have huge vendors during this time, usually in the winter time. Especially before Christmas. And they also are home to lots of beautiful thermals. And I should have some videos and pictures of the thermals that I went to when visiting Verona during the summertime or the springtime. I typically would go in the springtime or in the wintertime with my husband. So yeah, great. And then we went to a restaurant where we were able to enjoy a nice meal. We had risotto with amarone and porcini because I love mushrooms. I'm actually hoping to learn how to make the amarone at home so I can impress my husband when he finally is able to come home. So super excited about that. Oh, and before I forget, we also stopped for breakfast. And it was delicious. Of course, I had my pastry and coffee as always, because even though you guys voted, I had a pretty decent voting on my Facebook page and also on my Instagram. And it seems that more people tend towards like, okay, at least more of my American viewers cater towards like salty, I feel like. And then like I have fewer people catering towards the sweet. I'm a sugar monster, okay? But I do also like salty breakfasts every once in a while. One thing that I always regret never trying though is the English breakfast when I was in London, but that's another tangent for another day. I did want to share with you guys though my trip to Venice, and it was such a fun time. It was just me and my friend, and we took the train from Vicenza to Venice. Now, there is 2 ways you can do this for those of you who are wanting to use more public transit here in Italy, because public transit here in Italy is quite good, I would say so. I mean, obviously coming from Japan, Japan's a little bit more advanced, clearly, but here in Italy it's still fantastic, especially comparing it to my experiences using like public transit in the States. I personally would prefer the Italian transit over it, just because usually like the trains are just super clean and fairly efficient. You can get pretty much anywhere on the public transit, like the trains or the buses, and they're very time efficient. I feel like they're not super slow. My journey started with taking the bus. So there is an app that you can download, that I'm gonna post a picture of it, where you can access the bus, metro, train routes, okay? And you can basically just pay it by card through the app. So I was struggling with it a little bit because it's not like, it's a little finicky, okay, to be fair. And I ended up having to just pay on the bus to get my ticket to downtown, and then from there taking the train, and we bought them at the station because they do have little kiosks you can use if you don't want to talk to a direct person. And usually when the app is working, it's not a problem. But yeah, it is an app that you can use. I've seen people use it. My friend uses it. So, you know, it's not like the absolute worst, but it is something that you can use to travel with. And so we took the train, and it was a nice scenic trip because Italy, at least in this part, you do have quite a bit of countryside. It's weird because Italy is like a mix of country, city, suburbs, all in one. There's not like, it's not really separated. So, but taking the train is really nice because you do get a lot of that Italian countryside that is so beautiful. And even though it was kind of a foggy day, a little rainy, we still made the best of it. And once we actually ended up at the St. Lucia train stop, or station. I guess you can say both, right? Because train stop, train station. Anyway, so we made it there, and of course right now Italy is not as crowded as it normally is, especially not in Venice, but it was still as beautiful as ever. And we got to walk around and through the streets, get a little bit lost, have some breakfast, and have some nice vin brûlée to warm us up in the cold, rainy weather. And then we went on a gondola ride, which is really great. And I love taking the gondola rides just because, so I don't really like the price as much, but I do like taking them because you get to learn more about the history of Venice, and that's kind of part of the package deal. So when you get on the gondola and they take you around, they're telling you the history of like all of Venice and its prominent folks, and you know, everything in between that. And they usually speak more than one language. I've met ones that speak German as well, because you do get a lot of tourists here in Venice, obviously. German, French, Italian, clearly, and English. And sometimes they will even sing to you, which is nice. Our guy did not that I'm judging, but he didn't. But it's okay. He did give us a lot of historical facts that were very useful and just nice to know, and it kind of makes you feel the magic of the moment. It's just so phenomenal to me that it basically people live on the water, and to me the water is such a free-spirited element, and I don't know, but yes, Venice is a magical place. It's a beautiful place, and especially when it's more lively, and particularly in the summer, in my opinion, I think Italy comes more alive in the summer. And obviously they have markets and stuff in the winter too, but maybe I just like being warm. I don't know. But Italy is definitely my favorite place to visit in the summertime. And so I hope to bring you guys with me and have another trip where we can go around and see what Italy has to offer in the summer, and maybe see a couple new places in the process. I don't know, let's see. So after taking our beautiful gondola ride, we did make our way to have dinner, and we ended up just finding a trattoria that was nearby, so that was pretty good. And then from there we made our way back because obviously we had to skedaddle before it was too late in the day. And yeah, now there were a couple other things that I wanted to show you guys I didn't get a chance to, but that's okay because we'll just go back again, right? All in all, it was a good trip, and it was just good to get out the house and, you know, see the canals. Well, thank you guys for hanging with me again. I hope you guys enjoyed my footage of the trip, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so the next time I post a video, you'll be the first to know. All right, ciao for now.